payroll and that's it.
And the bills.
But
And the bills.
unless his password's restricted, just the payroll, he should be able to access all of it.
David's passed away, so he can't access
No,
it.
Don.
Dawn does not have,
No,
she only
she
has her
doesn't.
own passwords, just for certain things, and that's it.
That's the problem.
All right.
Which isn't really,
No, I mean, I
it
just.
could be a bigger
Well, that's
problem
what
if
I'm
she
saying.
had more passwords.
That's what I was,
So this
that's
is
what I
better.
was commenting on. I didn't know whether he had a restricted password, just a payroll, or a general password. Because I used to be certified in the QuickBooks Online, so I used to set
No,
them up.
that's part of the problem, Steve.
What, that I was doing it?
No, that nobody can access it.
Oh, Liz can, I would hope.
Yes, but
So all she has to do is set somebody else up. It takes what? If you give them unrestricted access, it takes all of 5 minutes.
but I will call, I'll get a message to Liz, one way or the other. about-
Because she's the one that would have all the interest.
And I use the interest,
That was on the previous,
that
the
was on
paper
my,
that she gave you.
yeah, the QuickBooks. Said, set up to June 26th, so.
Let me see.
Hopefully he didn't forget. Or is he gonna be this online?
I couldn't tell you.
Just to let you know I'm online. This is Faith.
Okay, thank you.
You're sounding a little better.
Yeah.
He's
It
here.
was. As soon as I start talking, it gets worse. So I think I'll just be quiet.
And Liz is on now. Hello, Jeffrey.
Afternoon.
Oh, did you get the other?
Did you get one of them? I can look, I was the only one here.
I
There's
I
some
made-
printed out.
I was gonna say, I made copies.
What was the budget on this right there in the
Fire department.
Oh, no.
That.
No, you didn't. There you go.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Any changes or additions to the agenda? I have none. Okay, line item 1 is to go over and set the proposed budget. How are you today, Liz?
Good. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. My camera doesn't want to cooperate, so I just wanted to be sure.
A little scratchy, but we hear you.
Yeah, well, I'm home with a sick kid, so the scratchy might be just part of my voice. Let's see. I'll turn up. Let's see if I turn up the microphone a little.
It's better now.
Okay. All right. So everybody has the template.
I believe so.
Okay. I'll just start at the top then. So starting with general fund revenues. Well, actually, let me give just a general overview. There's the prior year actual, the prior year budget, and then the next column, it's the current year actual as of 12/31/2025. And then our current year budget, which is 25/26. So just a reminder that as of 12/31 is exactly halfway through the year. So when you're looking at figures there, sometimes it might be about half of what we should expect. Sometimes there are timing differences, but it's a helpful reference point. So, okay, now back to interest income. I think we're on track to make probably a little under $100,000 this year, just because interest rates have dropped a little bit. But I would expect similar year over year. So next year, I think it's reasonable to increase that line item in the budget, at least somewhat. We've been very conservative with that, but.
You wanna go to a 50? 25?
60?
Sorry, Mark, it's hard, it's a little hard to hear you. You guys don't have any of the
Oh, Mike's.
No, no.
microphones out.
You're the one right above your head.
Oh,
What,
Oh, that's
50?
it.
You talking 50,000, 60,000?
50,000, just to be conservative,
Okay.
but
50.
it's still
Yep.
more realistic, I think. And just a note, when you looked up to speak, I could hear you a lot better.
Okay.
Interest on delinquent taxes, I don't think there's any reason to change that. The hope is that we have less delinquent taxes every year, so,
So we'll leave it at 55?
yeah. Forestry receipts, this is something we don't receive until the end of the fiscal year. I don't have any gauge on where if this may increase or not. I think 10,000 is reasonable.
Yep, we'll leave it at 10.
The state property tax piece, again, we don't get the information on what that might look like until after the fiscal year has begun. I think increasing it to 16,000 based on the actuals makes sense.
Okay.
The state reappraisal fund, Mary, I'm gonna look at you. This is one I didn't think to mention when we spoke the other day. I don't know if you have seen anything come across the lister's email that might give further information on this or not. It's a state amount. I know last year they had talked about not continuing this, and then they did. I haven't seen any information.
I didn't see any in the email when I checked it today. And so I just took that number and carried it into this next year's budget on our budget list. On our budget proposal.
Okay.
And I also asked when they planned on starting the reappraisal. And we were told today, late this year, they will start and be complete by April 1st of 2028 is the plan.
Okay.
So you wanna leave it at 10-4?
Yeah, I'm just looking to see. I'm on the state website right now, to see if there's anything. I can see the 2025 amount, but no information for 2026. So I think we leave it for now. What has happened with that money is we put it directly into the reserve for the reappraisal, so we'll see. You know, it sounds like we'll be paying for that in this upcoming year. We'll have those expenses ongoing, so we'll just see how that flows, and it'll need to be revisited next year, certainly at budgeting time, depending on where the spending has landed. So 10-4 makes sense. This next one is we get $1 per parcel. So I think continuing 12, we're still right around 1,200 parcels, maybe a little over, but it's fine. For budget purposes, the same number makes sense to keep 1,200. Licenses. This is liquor, marriage licenses, primarily dog licenses. I think keeping the 1,000 makes sense, so we haven't raised the fee. Subdivision fees, this year and last year, we've had quite a few subdivisions, so I think we could raise this from 300 up to 1,000.
Okay.
Building registration fees, it looks like continuing with 300 makes sense based on last year and current year to date. Miscellaneous, this has been the reason the numbers are so high for the prior year and what bumped up the year to date. It includes the opioid settlement monies, which are just, at this point, I don't know of any that are incoming, maybe for next year at least. So just keeping this at around 300 makes sense to me. Judiciary fines. I'd love to make this a 0 in our budget because they're so infrequent. I don't think we should budget for it.
I'm okay with that. The rest of the board?
Okay. I saw Jeff, I can see Jeff nodding. I can't see Diana's face, but.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, there we go. Now it's switched over to you, Diana, when you wait.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's fine.
That sounds good, 0.
Okay. Same thing, state current use penalty fees. We have historically not budgeted for this because it's only if someone takes land out and it's not something we should plan to happen. So continuing with a 0 for that. I can't think of any municipal grants into next year. Jeff, I don't know if there's anything offhand that you can think of.
The remainder of the planning grant, would that be that or?
But that we should have for this year.
All right, yeah.
That's what I mean, because this is July 2026 through June 30, 2027. I don't think we have anything planned right now.
Right.
I know there's some, if we get a grant, we generally plan for the expenses at the same time that we approve.
Yeah. So that's a 0.
I'm gonna put another 0 in there. Same thing, the next one, prior year expense refunds, this happens, but nothing that we should be budgeting for because it's not anticipated monies. The next line, Mount Holly Volunteer Rescue Dissolution, is just in there representing the prior funds, but definitely nothing we'll see this year or next. And then current use program payment. This looks, based on this year, it looks like we can bump this one up a bit, maybe 53,000 from 50.
Okay.
Again, it's variable if someone were to drop out, so. Moving down to the solid waste label sales, we're on track to hit, maybe we'll exceed the 40,000 that we budgeted for. We're at 22 right now. The prior year was when we switched the fee for labels. So this is our, I think, first year at the higher rate for the full year, so maybe 42,000 next year.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
And I would suggest not budgeting anything for recyclables because it's dependent on the market at any given time. We often don't get paid anything for those. Okay, moving into highway fund revenues. General state aid. You know, sorry, I just realized, would it be helpful, I know there's a few Bridget's online. Would anyone be opposed to me sharing my screen? I don't know who's controlling Zoom. Because I have the spreadsheet on my screen. That's why I'm belatedly thinking of that.
Okay, so she should be able to share.
You should be able to share now, Liz.
Okay, yep, I see it. Okay. Great. So, all right. Can you see that, Bridget? Okay. All right, so we're on to highway fund revenues. The general state aid, it's based on our overall mileage of classes of roads in those categories. It's paid quarterly, it looks like. We should expect about 135 this year. And it was 131 last year. I don't know if Bovee or Jeff, if you've seen anything, I assume they generally raise the rates each year.
Not sure.
Not sure. All right. Well, then I'd say we could keep with the, at least budget the current year for next year and say 135,000 here.
Okay.
I'm not aware of any state supplemental aid that we may be receiving. This is just if something comes across.
None that we know of. I believe that it is 0.
Yeah, I do know that we have applied for the grants in aid and received it the last couple of years. I know we wouldn't know the number yet for 26, 27.
I'll try looking it up. Come back to it if I find it.
Okay. I know we have one currently, but just the timing of it, I'm not sure if we have a number for it. Does it, I suggest keeping the same number that we have budgeted. Actually, we didn't budget anything this year, but budgeting for it in this upcoming year, say 16,500 to kind of split the difference between the last 2 years. Unless you see anything else, Jeff.
I'm almost there. I think it went up this year.
I think it's like 21,
It's 29.
29.
That we have been
It's
awarded?
yeah, it went up this year, but there's a match. I just don't have to take. I don't know. You have to take the 29. Cumulative award this action. We're talking 26, right?
Yeah.
26, 27.
Total award.
Right. 29.
I guess 21, just to be safe.
Right.
Yeah. Go with 21.
21? Okay. Yeah, because I know we haven't, in some years, if we don't spend it all, then we can't request it all, so that makes sense. In this coming year, the FEMA money, I don't think we should budget for anything, but it's possible we may, if we're able to wrap up, which we need to, the July 2023, the final project, which is the Beaver Meadow culvert, we received most of the money for that, and it's been sitting in the bank. If we can finish that in this next season of construction, then that there may be money that comes in, but it would be reimbursement, and then it's possible we could get paid back from the state. Like there's final percentages that the state won't pay us until everything's closed out. So just a note, but I don't think we should. I think we should stick with a 0 for budget purposes because there's no guarantees on that timing. I'm not aware of anything for sale upcoming. The last thing was the plow. That's the sales of supplies and equipment.
Yeah, there's nothing at this point that I know we're gonna get rid of.
Okay. The next line item, the intermunicipal reimbursement, this is what we're charging Plymouth and East Wallingford for plowing and sanding or salting. I know we increased it $100 each last year. Bovie, I don't know if you have any sense, just,
4%?
offhand.
I would do at least a 4% increase.
76.50.
Yeah, that makes sense. Permits and miscellaneous, the highway permits haven't, hit the busy season of when those start coming in. So I think 400 probably still makes sense for next year. Okay. So that gives us a total so far of $354,750 for total non-tax revenues. Now I'm gonna move down. We've got other funding sources. we've historically transferred money from the records fund to the operating fund to cover the cost of our software that we're paying for. I know we just had to prepay a year for COTS. That takes us through October 31st of 2026. And then it'll be, I think the plan is to transition potentially to NIMRIC, or at least explore that transition.
We're sticking,
But-
we got a 3-year contract with COTS still.
Oh, it was another 3 years?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know offhand, do you know what the full contract total was? Because I know we had to prepay 1 year.
I want to say
And the rate,
the 3
I know
years
the
are the
rate went
same
up.
as a 1 year. I mean, the same amount each 3 years.
yeah, I don't have that figure in front of me because I'm not on I'm on my, just online on this spreadsheet, not on the treasurer's PC, but I'd suggest we continue to cover that full fee. I think it might be closer to 2,600, but I'm not positive without, look, oh, I see Carol walked away to go look, okay.
Oh, actually, COTS is $2,210 per year.
Okay, I knew it went up, that's actually not as much as I thought, so. And I would,
Do the full
I think
2210.
we've rounded up in past, just to be sure it's covered, so I'd say 2,250 for budget purposes. And the next few items are generally not things that we actually budget for, except for the potential of a surplus general fund balance carryover, or if we have a specified fund balance carryover. I'd like to come back to this section after we go through more of the expenses, because I think that's kind of the place that we generally end our discussion. And I'm just gonna highlight it on my end. Okay. So I'm gonna skip over it. There's just two totals after that normally, but they really are driven by the fund expenses. So I'd like to keep going and move into the general fund expenses. So the first item, it's the town treasurer software. I think 3,000 is still reasonable. We haven't paid our annual QuickBooks, the actual software expense. We've only paid an annual payroll fee so far year to date. Town officer expenses. I think leaving it the same makes sense unless anyone's aware of anything particular.
No, 1,200.
Okay, the same for select board expenses. This is keeping that a standing $1,000. Is something we've done for the last few years, and I think it's reasonable to have it there. I'd like to continue with it. And then we're on to listing expenses and CAMA. I see Mary looks ready. If you want to go ahead, Mary.
I thought maybe we should increase that. I'm not sure if Apex will go up this year. We won't know until, I think, the end of June. That's kind of a guess. Our contract is up one time this year. It was $260 before, so I
Yep.
rounded that up to $280. And Marshall and Swift, that all depends on how many changes we have in the grand list. So we haven't received our bill yet this year. Spoke to Chris Mealy, we thought it would be over $300. And the assessor services would mostly be Tyler's help, but they are going to start some reappraisals at the end of the year, besides the fact that we'll need them in the spring when we have to go back in after our drive-arounds with people's BCRs and upgrades to their homes. So I added another 1,000 to that.
Yeah, that, I mean, I know it's variable year over year, and most of it hasn't been spent yet because of timing. I will just note that our overall, the reappraisal, like appraisal services is part of the next
Yeah, I
line
see that.
item.
Yeah.
And we have a reappraisal fund for that, to cover the reappraisal itself.
Okay, you think that should stay at 6?
No, I think you have the most information. I think 7 is
Okay.
just as likely as 6 to make sense. That's I just want to give that context.
Okay.
I'm fine with 7 if that's what you think.
I think 7's good. If not more.
7 sounds
Sounds
good.
good, sounds good, yeah.
7 sounds good.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
the
like 65, but.
Well, even
I was
that,
thinking
7,000.
55.
Well, the thing is, if they're gonna start doing the townwide reappraisal, that's in everyone's house, and that's gonna,
Seven's good.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm being honest.
Get the dartboard out.
Yeah, well, and we'll have a separate line item for the reappraisal,
yeah,
and that money that's set aside for the reappraisal is where those funds would come from. So this would just be your normal appraisal the annual things is what would be in this category. So does 7,000 make sense for the
7 sounds good.
appraisal? Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure which 7 we were talking about before. I'll keep going.
They're both 7.
7, yeah.
Okay. Computer and copier expenses.
The
Did
copier's
everything get
actually,
settled?
the copier's actually doing pretty good, so knock on wood.
Okay.
You're already sure.
Is there anything, any of the computers at issue? I know
So we've been.
we were having issues with Zoom last month, so did that computer get sorted out?
Which one?
The one that's hosting these meetings?
I think we got that fixed, didn't we, Patrick?
Yep.
Yeah, I
Well,
believe.
And there was it wasn't just a hardware issue, I don't think, but
No.
Yep, there was, I did some updates, but like, we've been in here, we've done a couple meetings since, and I think that was just a one-time fluke. I don't know if that was a Zoom issue or what, but it hasn't happened
okay.
since.
We've also had VTEL in to
Yeah.
No, they didn't do hardwire.
Yeah, they did an upgrade.
upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Connection.
Okay.
So it sounds like we can leave that at 2,500.
Yes. Property mapping.
Yep, that's CAI. And that was what we paid for the past 2 years, I believe. And I don't know if they'll go up at all this year, so I added a couple $100 to that, just to be safe. It went from 2,500 to 2,800, so I'm not sure where he'll go. If you could ask-
3,000?
Yeah,
3,000 sounds fine.
okay.
And then, so the next line item, it's town office supplies and expenses. That does include the town utility, the office utilities, as well as any maintenance. So I think we're on track probably for the 16,000, just based, you know, it's heating season right now. That's another area, I know, with veto and wiring, I'm not sure if there's anything else maintenance-wise, if that needs to be bumped up potentially.
If we do floors,
Or about 10 utilities, 10 grand.
What?
A new floor would be at least like 10 grand.
We really need new floors. We need to start taking care of the
you're
building.
chipping all apart.
No, I just saying the dollar amount, I'm not arguing.
How about 17,000, just raise it a bit for
Yep.
next year?
Yep, that's fine.
How much is building?
17. I think you can do a snap lock floor.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Tax billing and collection, this is envelopes, paper, postage for mailing out tax bills.
Diana,
I
did you
think-
get Pete's envelope that I left in there that had your name on it?
No, I didn't.
He said he talked to you about it?
I know because postage has gone up,
Yep.
that we should raise this to 2,300.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is for Faith to pay.
I'm okay with 23.
That's to put on the budget, you read that, because they wanna add that into the budget. The way it was explained to me.
Yeah, this is.
Is that
this
from
is-
Pete?
Yes, our tax collector. He wants to.
Yeah, I did speak with him, so that is included in the line item that we were just talking about for tax billing and collection.
I mean, cause
He
it's.
said it's about, it includes, cause he sends out pre-posted envelopes for people to return payments with. So that's included in that 2,300.
It's about $550 worth. And he
Yeah.
should be reimbursed for anything he's putting into this, because this is a town expense.
Yep.
So 2,300, Liz?
Yeah, and that does cover the delinquent collection
Yep.
expenses.
I'm good with 23.
Okay. Meetings, notices and reports. This is the town report, anything for the election. We just haven't hit the time of year where we spend more of our money in this category yet. I think at least 9,000 here. I don't know if we have any information on increases to town reports at this point, if those have gone up or not.
Yeah, we have 3 bids out. One's about 2,300 currently. One's a little over 3,000. We've yet to get back the other one. It all's really turning about to be the turnaround time, if anything, depending on when we get papers in, of who can be the quickest.
Mm-hmm. Is that similar to last year for cost?
Yeah, if we went with the same person as last year, it's only going up a couple $100.
Okay. Thank you, that's helpful. I think 9,000 is probably just as reasonable as any.
Okay, 9 it is.
Anything then. Okay. Our external annual audit, that price has gone up I think we should make this at least 12,500 for next year.
Yep.
Okay. Legal and professional services. Thankfully, we haven't really had to utilize that so far this year. I think it's hit or miss on any given year. Maybe we could make this 4,000 for next year.
Okay.
Planning commission expense. This varies, but I'd suggest keeping it at 750.
Sounds good.
Municipal planning grant expense, I don't believe we need to have a placeholder here for next year at this point. I'd suggest nothing, 0.
Okay.
Because we'll finish our current grant this year. Conservation Commission expense. I don't know if anybody's there from the Conservation Commission, I can't see the whole room.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yes,
You might
go
wanna-
ahead.
You might just for here to hear it, you might wanna stand up.
I think
We have several items, and I don't know whether they're covered in some of the other things here, but for instance, we propose to remove several trees at the recreation area, which need to go. And how we do it is, whether we have to pay for it or Dennis is find somebody who can do it for free, I don't know. And we also have some expenses related to weed clearing in Star Lake, and also minor expenses, well, a few $100s related to the ash borer mitigation program, updating our equipment and or repairing it. So I think we could easily use $2,000 in FY27, which is what this is, I believe. If you'd like me to give you a more detailed breakdown of how we would spend that, I will. We haven't discussed this because frankly our December meeting was canceled due to weather.
So that $2,000 would include the tree removals?
I think so, yeah.
And
We do,
Pardon?
there's currently, it's just shy of $500, but it was stuck in a reserve fund I think 2 years back.
Oh, okay.
I'd suggest if we're increasing it, that we say budget 1,500 and plan to utilize
That surplus?
The remaining?
that surplus from the prior year.
No, that sounds fine.
Okay.
So 1,500 with a 500 surplus.
So I'm gonna go back, I'll be adding that into the other funding
The
sources.
tree removal really just comes out of the highway budget.
It could, it could.
That could be very expensive too.
Yeah. Maybe we just.
I know we have allocated, if it made sense, some of the ash tree or shade tree money in a prior year budget when needed for tree removal.
Well, I don't think we have line of sight this year too to any ash tree removal. And we haven't touched that budget.
Mm-hmm.
And shade tree preservation.
Maybe we just take care of the trees this year before the budget.
We could.
Yeah, if we don't have we didn't budget anything for shade tree in the current budget,
We
but
have
we do
ash
have
tree.
2,500
We have ash tree.
for
damage.
Yeah.
ash tree. Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to know.
So I don't know if that's something we need to.
It's just a line item because we thought the borer was gonna come and,
It is, it's coming here.
right, but it hasn't resulted in cutting a lot of trees
Oh,
No,
Direct
I
cost.
it is here now.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean.
but the budget was to cut trees
Right.
down.
The
to cut
town,
trees.
the town will need to cut budget trees in their right of way.
Right.
And
Are you putting that in a reserve or is that
So-
the current expense?
We've been budgeting and really barely touched what we've been budgeting, so what we've been budgeting has been covering our costs.
Yeah.
We just haven't cut anything down this year, so that's why I'm saying maybe those trees are
We-
ashes, we could cut them down.
We've been cutting down other trees instead of ash trees with that money, I think, in the last 2 years.
Which comes out of a different budget item though.
So, do we need to continue maintaining that money for ash tree damage?
I would say we either keep the conservation commission at 1,000, keep the ash tree budget there just in
We can.
case. And I don't necessarily think that taking trees down is a conservation commission item, is all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of using the right line item in the budget.
Sure.
Okay,
So go back to 1,000. They had the 500 left there, and we'll just put that extra 500 in the tree removal.
Or use it towards the trees
Right.
when the time comes.
Right.
okay, shade tree preservation, is there anything we're gonna do in there? Leave that
Currently.
zero. And then what
I
about?
think no, I think that was an old, that's,
It's an old
we,
one.
we chose not to budget for it in the current year. I don't think we,
Yeah, what
there's
about
been
the
any-
grant expense for conservation commission?
I think that's finished, is it not?
Is
Yeah,
that
it's
done?
It's a zero.
I think that, yeah, that was the,
That's a zero.
Merck grant that we had.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. So if shade tree is a zero, do we continue with 2,500 for the ash tree damage expense, knowing that it might be trees at Star Lake, it might be wherever?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And still at 2,500?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The next line's really just was a placeholder, but, I'm gonna go down to insurance. Currently, we pay insurance quarterly. It looks like we're a little behind maybe on receiving the bills for this year, but we're on track for it to be around 22,000. So I'd suggest we go with 22,000 for budget.
Okay.
For insurance.
Yeah, for insurance, 22.
And then workers' compensation looks like it has increased a bit.
Now, Liz, knowing that we are shy an employee for insurance, which we have been, do we want to continue knowing that we're looking for an employee at the 22
23.
or 23?
That insurance isn't the employee-related insurance. That's general property liability, the commercial coverage.
That's fine.
Workers' compensation, the next line down, is, if someone gets hurt on the job and it is based, they'll reassign based on payroll costs. I think we need to increase that a little bit because even though we're down someone, we're looking to hire for them and
Correct.
our payroll costs have increased. So that's why that and rates shift a little bit depending on if we haven't had anything recent, but
What are you
just
looking
overall cost of insurance.
18,
So
19?
I'd say it looks like 19,000 probably for workers' compensation.
12%.
Yeah.
So back to the insurance list, that's on the vehicles, right? Or no?
Yes, no, that does include vehicles.
Everything.
Okay, but now, is this taken into consideration? You're going from 3 big trucks to 4 trucks now? for having insurance on another one?
Even with adding a truck, we're still looking to be, 22,000 is still above what I think we will spend.
Okay,
Okay.
just wanted to make sure.
It's a little bit of a buffer in case they increase because it's variable. Since we work with VLCT, depending on their overall claims within their pool insured, they may raise rates, but it's been pretty consistent with them.
Okay, well, I was just not knowing if you realize we still got the 4 trucks.
Yeah, I mean, I know we still have it. I know maintaining it is very expensive, so I wonder about that when we get down to maintenance, but overall insurance, it's not a major cost to insure the additional vehicle. But employee benefits, different type of insurance. I looked and I didn't see the new bill. Our biggest cost here is health insurance, of course. And I did not see the new bill for the 2026 rates. Have we received that yet, Diana?
I thought it was like 4,300 for the monthly.
I didn't see one in just for January's bill though. Did we just pay?
It probably hasn't come through yet for January, and it'll probably be this next week.
It should have come in December for January. That's why I was wondering.
You got the.
Is it MVP or Cigna? MVP or?
You didn't see anything yesterday in the bills?
They'll send it through the email if you can find it.
Well, I'm gonna look and see if she sent an email, I think.
Sorry. Are you looking, Jeff?
Yeah, I've got the email with the letter.
I'd be glad to update the spreadsheet we used last year to kind of project out things. I just didn't have the updated rate information.
It's like 3% more.
For this year, and then
the new numbers, but I don't have the old numbers. Oh wait.
Do you have the new numbers?
Yeah, I've got those.
Can you, if you can share that, I can update the details to a projection. Obviously, I can't do it right this minute while we're talking, but we could put in a.
I'll forward you it.
We could put in a placeholder for the moment. For employee benefits general, that does not include health insurance. So that was 20,000 this year. I'd suggest we increase that a little for next year. That does include retirement benefits, as well as just general payroll tax that is paid for all administrative staff. So, which includes the child care contribution that the town covers. That's one of the things that's increased our cost a little bit year over year the last 2 years. So I'd suggest we at least go to 21,000 for that, and then maybe we can put a placeholder in on highway. Diana just mentioned 3%, but that's half the year. We don't know what next year will bring, I don't know, another. We could, just kind of a guesstimate without having the numbers, the
Do you know
actuals,
which plan we're on?
106,000, 108,000 total.
Platinum?
The platinum.
Standard or non-standard? Or okay.
So I questioned that at the meeting.
Does putting in 106,000 make sense? I can't really hear what the conversation was.
I'm almost done, hold on.
Oh, okay, sorry. I know we don't have our, as far as hiring someone,
12%.
we don't know what benefits another person may
12% hike.
need, whether they have a family or they're an individual. I would,
Jeff said it was a 12% hike.
sure, I mean, the 12% isn't, it doesn't compute overall with this, the number that's on the budget, because it's not just health insurance. If we did 12% on that total, it would bring us to a little over 109,000. I'd suggest 107, 108 is reasonable without,
107.
okay.
What do we do for the one above it? General?
21.
I suggested 21,000 for that, because it includes retirement, which the state increases. There's an annual increase in July. I'm gonna jump down then to Ludlow Ambulance Services. I don't think they've actually invoiced us yet, which is why there's no expense so far year to date, but we certainly enjoy their services and will plan to continue, so this has been based on total 911 addresses.
Yes.
And they've gone up,
So what were we looking at,
Sure.
90,000?
I'd say 90. And that's.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest 90,000, because it's not a huge dollar
No,
figure
that
per
sounds
address.
right, but now they got a new town manager and I don't know what they'll do with the,
Oh, with the, yeah.
with the premiums.
If we budget more,
Right, we wanna be
we
careful.
wanna be careful.
Yes. So, just,
You know, Penny.
Has there been any communication with the new town manager about it?
no, I'll have to get a hold of Penny and talk with Penny. I know Penny. So I would just say no more than 90.
Alright,
Cause I know the
I'm gonna
911
put in,
addresses.
I'm gonna put in 90 for
Yeah.
now, knowing that we need to, revisit. The next line item was a special, had to do with, a grant after FEMA, so I'm putting a 0 for emergency shelter equipment. Unless there's something else. Animal control expense,
That's changed over to the sheriffs.
well, this is for, Carol still has to buy the tags every year.
Is this for the tags?
Registrations?
Then I'd leave
And
it
also, if there's mailing associated with follow-up, which maybe we won't be doing this year, but maybe we'll get billed from the sheriff, I don't know what that will look like. But if the sheriff because it's no longer going to be like there was a salary figure for animal control. Since the sheriff will be doing it, I would suggest we budget for the sheriff in this section here. Is there a set fee for the contract, or is it based on time?
Well, there was a set fee for the contract.
It's built together with the traffic control.
Yeah, it's all linked together with traffic control and animal control.
They usually, I know they spell it out when they send us an invoice, I just haven't seen a recent one with
I
that
just got
listed.
an invoice today.
I don't know, 4,000?
Well, it was
5,000?
$60.25 times 4 times 52 is what it would pencil out to. So, and then we could just prorate and say half is traffic and half is animal, I guess.
Yeah, because it was what, 10,000 that we paid
For
total?
everything. What was
Yeah,
that?
but we started late.
64 what?
60.25.
60.
That would put us at about 12,500 for the year. So if we said 6,250 under animal control and 6,250 for speed. We should still, for animal control though, I would suggest we still add in that 500 for the tags and.
Yeah, that's fine to leave the 500 where it is.
Well, 500 plus the 6,250 for the sheriff would make it 6,750.
But was there a separate
Total.
line item? Are you gonna leave it on the same line item or separate?
I'd like to keep it on the same line item because it'll just all be animal control.
So it'd be 67.50.
And then the other line item would be speed enforcement, and that would be the other 6,250 for the sheriff.
I'd put an
Just-
extra 3% on that just because
What was that?
I'd bump that up a little bit more. What did you put in
On
there?
speed,
How much did you put in?
62.50.
I go to 65 or 64 each
for speed enforcement?
for each of them, for both the animal and the just to cover.
Okay, so if we say 6,500 for speed, then that would make, bump us up to 7,000 total for animal control.
Oh, 65. I thought we were gonna leave them at 65 each.
65 each.
Well,
Yes, but she's gonna
but
add the
then you're
500
not-
too.
We were already at,
Oh,
we were
yeah,
already at
sorry.
6,750.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Cemetery upkeep.
Here you are, Dennis.
Okay, can you hear me,
Yes.
Liz?
Yep.
The mowing at the Packer, it's been $200 a month for 6 months, and he's gonna go to $250. I don't know if we find anybody else to do it for $400. He does it once a month, and most people that mow would like to do it 2 to 3 times a month. They're not gonna wanna do it once a month, because, you know, and it was so dry and stuff that he didn't do, and hot there, he didn't do it in September, so that saved us a little bit. So we're talking 1,500 instead of 1,200 for the mowing there. And I wanted to have the tree removal set at 2,500 for a total of 4,000 instead of 3,500. And you're not gonna get many trees down for $2,500. The price has gone up on all that stuff. So I'd like to at least see the 25, at least the $4,000 total for the cemetery upkeep. And if things go wrong and trees come down, we're trying to stay ahead of them. And we've still got one tree to come down that was approved, the money was approved, and we're hopefully getting somebody lined up to get it down. That's been part of the problem. You know, before July 1st, obviously, because the money was approved.
Right,
So
it's in the budget.
You guys will, yeah, and you guys will agree with the 4,000. I could probably spend 5,000 or 6,000 if I really went looking at, and I do try to look at the trees, look them over pretty good, and get them down before they do damage.
Thanks for the donation, Dennis.
sell some syrup.
I'm all right with 4.
Okay. Next, Star Lake expense. This includes, there's an annual dam registration fee with the state. It's also a lot of mowing up there, bottom barrier removal and installation. I think this is,
And then it would be
You
the
know.
weeds, right? It would be, the weeds would be included in it this time around.
Well, I thought volunteers
That's
were,
volunteers.
that's volunteers, isn't it?
Yeah, but does it
yeah,
cost
I
for
think
the
that's
machine,
been,
whatever
there
you're
hasn't
saying?
really been a cost associated with that
He's
in the
charging.
past.
I don't know.
We have to.
I know there was a potential, they got the approval to do it, but
I think that was the
I
question.
don't know if there was any
creating some
specific
kind of fund,
cost.
accepting donations.
I believe they were looking for
And we were
donations.
asking if we could run the donations.
So you're looking to leave it at 4,500, Liz?
I think that makes sense. It may,
Yep.
if mowing costs increase, it's possible it goes up a little bit, but 45 for budget makes sense.
We had that question a meeting or two ago about could we collect donations? Do you remember that conversation? So I think if there was mowing,
Yes.
the goal was to collect the donations.
If there were, Liz, if there were some trees to come down, and there's 3 maples that are in pretty rough shape, and somebody related to Dave that died on Gates Road, a relative of his from White River area, approached me a couple months ago about volunteering in his grandfather's or great uncle's name to take down 2 or 3 maple trees that they're pretty well dead, the tops of at least 2 of the 3. He'd volunteer, and I said, well, come look at the one at the museum that needs to come down too if you're going to volunteer. But the town and the museum needs proof of insurance. And that was 2 months ago, and I've been waiting, so I haven't seen proof of insurance. So
All right.
I don't know if that tree removal would be part of the Star Lake expense.
No, it's not, but I can tell you that, the cost to insure somebody to take down trees is likely much less expensive than it is to pay somebody to take down the trees who's not volunteering. So if the if someone was willing to donate their time and skill set and they needed insurance, it might be worth, exploring the cost of covering the insurance for that individual, if they were qualified to do it.
We would do that through Vermont Leagues of City and Towns, right?
I don't think they would have to get private insurance, but maybe the town pays their fee, they bill the town for the cost of the insurance.
Oh, I was thinking.
Or we put them on our payroll.
All right.
I can at least talk to the family to see if I told him that we might help him get the insurance he needed to get him down if he wants to volunteer, that we could at least get a cost or a price to cover it.
Right.
I can at least do that.
Yeah, I just, from, sourcing insurance, I think that's probably, a much more cost-effective route if the person's qualified to do it and just needs the insurance.
You may be covered under your.
I would not put them on payroll for liability purposes. That's more risky. I would keep it separate if possible.
I was a little surprised because he said he's done some tree removal for town of Hartford, White River area where he lives. So I thought I would see proof of insurance by now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rutland.
Regional.
So the planning commission fee has gone up, as you see here. I don't have any information about it going up in future, but I'd suggest we budget at least, say, $14.50.
Okay.
And this is for it's our annual membership. VLCT and passive, the annual membership. I expect, I don't have any, same thing, I don't have any information, I think maybe 3150, just expecting a slight increase next year. And then, miscellaneous, it's good practice to have a standing amount there. I'd continue with the $100. The 1,600 that's currently there is actually, that we've spent this year, was the money for the Veterans Monument, which had been donated, so it's not actual town funds.
It says there's some money left over in that Veterans Monument repair job. I had talked earlier, a few months ago, about using some to put a flagpole there in the spring. And I priced with the, with Faith, a couple flagpoles and stuff, but, you know, a metal one, not a fiberglass, because the fiberglass were out of sight. But, do you think that's okay to use that $300 or $350 or so that was
We
unused?
decided, Dennis, we decided that.
Yeah, well, I thought you
Yeah,
did,
it
but
was
I didn't
already
know if
approved.
Liz knew about
It's
that.
approved.
It was, yeah, it was at a select board meeting, I was there.
Okay, thank
And
you.
it's, you know, it's donated money from the people, so it's certain.
No, we'll
Yeah,
use it for the
it was
flag.
donated for the Veterans Monument, I think
Yep.
a flag makes
Yep, thank you.
good sense and good use. Rutland County tax, I think maintaining the 25,000 makes sense for this one. It's it varies year to year slightly. Okay, that is the end of the total operating expense for a total of 384,450. Going on to solid waste management expenses. We're disposal and hauling, we're on track to spend probably close to $75,000 again this year. That's what we spent last year. So we had raised the budget, but I'd suggest we increase it further to at least 75,000, if not higher.
75.
The cost of the attendance, we're on track right now to be right about on budget for this year of 18,000. I'd suggest we increase that to 19,000 for next year. And then the
It could be.
FICA expense
Do I go to 20?
is
No, it's
based on the
that's fine. I was
payroll.
18,630 would be 3.5. 18,630 would be 3.5.
So 18.5.
It's 3.
That's 18.5, right?
Yeah.
Change that 19 to 18.5, Liz.
Okay.
Or close it.
And then
Right now.
the FICA will be about 1425 with that slight increase. That's just the payroll tax.
14.25.
Yep.
Well, if it comes 30K short at the end, that's what we do, because that's what we're losing.
Absolutely.
No, we're losing more than that.
More.
Utilities and supplies that includes the electric bill. It can vary, if we're buying things like signs, that might get put into this category.
1,500, 1,600.
15.
Yeah, I think 15, you know, if you look our actual spending compared to some of the categories, I think sometimes sometimes things could fit in multiple places. Like if I put, say, 1,500 for utilities and supplies, we've budgeted 1,500 the last 2 years for maintenance and barely touched that line item.
Yeah, we
So
might
they're kind of,
keep that though, 'cause
I kind of look at them
I would
together.
leave that one at 15 too, because, you know, every year there's probably fence repair.
And we got the side of the building, it needs to get painted again.
No, this is for the
This is for
solid,
the solid waste.
Oh, solid waste, I was gonna say.
Every year that back line comes down, it seems. Whether a tree comes on it or something.
Well, then there's a
Then
lot
we've
more
got-
and all that stuff too there.
The administration and telephone, I'd suggest we decrease this one to 500. I think the
Yep.
costs have been absorbed by some of the supplies.
Yep, 500's fine.
And then site improvements. We put in the shed. It was 2 years ago now. I know finishing that up, we had budgeted 2,000 for this year for site improvements. Once that's completed, I don't know if there's anything else that's needs to be done in the near future or not.
Or do you need 1,000?
I mean, $1,000 should be plenty. for that.
Okay,
So
I
cut
was
that to
thinking
1,000.
1,000.
Yep.
And then
if we close it,
the
it's 58,000.
equipment,
You're right.
We're just talking about if we closed it, how much we would save. Once we could sell the property. Nobody wants to buy it.
Age like Abel's or
It's a landfill.
right.
do we have the cost comparison this year
Cost comparison compared to what?
to outsource it?
It wouldn't cost, the town would save 58 grand and the burden would be put directly to the users.
Yep.
The sticker price would go to $5 probably. That was last year's.
Sure.
It would just be outsourced, so the town would save that 58 grand.
I mean, you just still put the fence up or something.
Right.
We'd still have some site costs, but minimal.
All right, equipment replacement fund.
You don't want me to delete everything and
Yeah,
say we'll close it?
The last one, 1,000, still fine.
Okay. And that 1,000 is into the reserve fund, being held for larger capital purchases as needed for that fund.
Oh, very good.
Okay. Now we're on to salaries and compensation. Town clerk.
I'm gonna stay the same. I'm not gonna ask for a raise. Although I might change my mind, but as of right now,
I heard you say it, I'm putting the same. The next line item is the town treasurer, and I'm just gonna, I wanna see the total between treasurer and assistant treasurer. This year's budget is 35,165. And total costs year to date is 17,131, so it's on track to be a little under 35,000 for the year. I think that's still reasonable. I don't know if you want to continue, like, as far as putting it in the budget, if the board would like to move it around at all, how it's structured.
You added both together, the treasurer and the assistant?
I just did the math. It's not, they're not added together in the actual budget as of right now.
Right,
They're
there's two line
separate,
items.
they're separate line items.
Yep.
So that's really, I think that's my question is, would you like to change anything on how it's presented? Or not?
I'd leave it the same too.
Okay.
It's a larger discussion, the whole.
It's a larger, yeah.
And then what
I don't know,
figure
there's
do you
discussion
put
for
in
next
there?
week.
Do you?
It could be in discussion
And
for
then we
the
revisit.
board, yeah.
Something for our agenda.
Yeah,
Do you want me to leave that for now?
yeah.
Yeah,
Leave a placeholder?
I
yes,
just leave both
leave them both as
treasurers.
placeholders.
Okay. The next line is select board compensation, which has been, there's a $1,500 for a annual stipend.
That's for all three.
Correct. $500 per person, per select board member, for a total
I
of
really
50.
think they need a raise.
Well, they're doing it for
No, I
the,
think
they're doing it for the money.
keeps you under the old W.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm okay at 500 each still.
yeah. It's like bumps you into like W2 or
You could go up
something.
to 600.
I'll take a discount on property taxes.
Yeah. Can we discuss that?
Not old
on
enough
that.
for these income sensitivity
I know. We all don't have Dennis's money.
He doesn't get the discount.
The select board administrative assistant, it's 8,000 in the current year. We're on track to be at about 9,000 probably total. It was 10,000 in the year before that. I suggest it's maybe increased back up, say 9,500 or 10,000.
10.
Do 10, go back to where we were.
Town auditors has been 1,000. We don't have those expenses yet for the year, but based on however long it takes to do the town report.
Leave that the same.
Listers,
We have to leave that the same.
it's been set at 17,000 the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Knowing that the reappraisal is happening and will be in full force over the next fiscal year,
Plus your trainings.
Yeah.
I don't know what that, if that equates to more hours
How
for the
far,
listers.
how close to the budget have we come?
We're still under budget. It's hard for me to say where it'll land because they haven't had the busiest time of year yet.
Right, and if it's 5,100, 5,200 midpoint of the year. Figure it's about
Yes,
that.
but the,
I think
they-
we're gonna
I think,
probably not have a third lister for a couple months. So I think leaving it at 17, I think is going to round
Be
out.
okay?
I'm
Leave it-
okay with that, yeah.
Leave it at 17.
next is assistant clerk. It's at 3,400 currently.
Since I didn't take one, I think we'll leave theirs the same.
34.
Okay, and I put a placeholder in under assistant treasurer. Moving to planning commission clerk, that's at just shy of $900 halfway through the year. We had bumped it down to 1,600, but I suggest we put it back up to 2,000. Administrative officer, that's at 672 currently. Budget is 1,000. Maybe bump that up to 1,300. And then the health officer and the fire warden, health officer's been 1,200, that's an annual amount. And the fire warden has been 500 the last 2 years, so that's an annual amount.
Okay,
Should we-
then with animal control again, that which is the sheriff's department.
Yeah, that will go to 0 because it's no longer a
That was
salary.
0. Yes, that's a 0.
Do you want to leave the health officer and the fire warden the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Moving down to other items. Our garage bond principal is 30,000, that continues. The interest will be reduced to about 8,500 in the coming year.
8,500.
The cot system, the records fund, that was Carol, we had put 2,250 up above. So we take the funds from the records fund, so I'm gonna mirror that here, which is what we've done since that's been in place.
Okay.
And then the same thing, the reappraisal reserve fund, we've been mirroring the revenue, which we continued at 10,400 up above, so I'm gonna do the same. So if we receive the money, we'll put it towards the reappraisal. For FEMA funds, we don't have a sense of what the cost might be for Beaver Meadow in the coming year. This is kind of a tough one. I think we should budget something, because there will be an expense,
What's our match?
but I don't have a sense of what that might be.
What did they give the cost? It was like 400K, right? FEMA's analysis.
Yeah, that's what it's not the full, well, that's what they gave us. The full cost was closer to 500,000.
1.25.
because they didn't pay us for the full amount, like the cash that we have, they didn't give us the full 90% of the federal money. There's still a portion of it
A lot of
that we
that was 10,000.
won't get reimbursed for
Right?
until the project's actually done.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't either, I don't remember.
I mean, if that thing, if it, 300, 400,
For the project,
for the Beaver Meadow one,
yeah, I mean, we could,
it's just highly variable depending on,
right,
We have budgeted.
I know, we could, if we budget 400,000 and assume we of course will utilize the money that we have on hand for it. It's like a net 25,000, say.
oh, so that's why we, okay, I got, that's where the 10 came from.
That's where the 10 came from, so,
So do we just budget for our match, basically?
yes. Because if we put in 400,000, we're
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
the taxpayers to pay the 400,000 that FEMA's already given us.
No, we would add that money back in up above, but I think it makes sense just to put the net amount of, say,
30? I mean, if it's 30 or 40. somewhere
yeah,
between there.
it's like you said, it's hard to know, because until we go through a bid process, we won't have an actual number.
Just put 30.
Do every day.
Put 30.
Okay. The next one, the USDA generator, that's not something that is recurring, that was one time.
That's a 0.
Yeah, the new plow truck that we just purchased, even if we wanted another truck next year, I'm sure we wouldn't be able to get one in time, so I can't imagine there's any.
Yeah.
2 years right now?
3.
3? Well, and I do wonder if that's, because if that's something, once we get down to the equipment and expense fund,
That's where it'll get covered.
that we should be thinking about what, because if it takes that long to get another one, we just replace the 2014, the next truck is the 2017.
That's in 27.
But I'm gonna say 0, for budget purposes, it's a 0.
Yep.
Okay, probably take tax abatements.
So, you see what we've actually abated in taxes. We have reflected, just budgeted $2,000 overall for property tax adjustments in prior years, which I think is reasonable. There's a large potential variability. So I would suggest 0 for abatements and 2,000 for adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Legal and collections costs on tax sale. We have not budgeted separately for this in the past, and I think that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
The discount on taxes, we have significantly under budgeted for since I've been in this role. It's hard to budget for this because it's based on the discount is based on the total tax, which includes the education fund amounts, which we don't know and won't know until July or end of June at the earliest. So, but I would like us to increase this because it's not, we've definitely been under representing what the discount actually amounts to for the town. I'd suggest at least 235
Yeah.
Just knowing that there'll be taxes are going up,
It's like
and it was
counterproductive to
$215
give the discount
in the-
and increase the budget,
in the current year.
just to incentivize people to pay.
Yeah.
What ends up happening, the percentages, it's been like 80% of people from at least the last 5 years have taken advantage of the discount. So you end up,
Bulk of your money.
you're 4%
Still
of
getting the same money. 'Cause you're gonna raise the taxes.
80% of our total
It's just-
tax dollars.
Kind of just the people that, and then the people that can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we're not accounting for enough of it in the budget, and I'd like to bump that up, to say 235 at least for 26, 27, which is still probably not enough, but.
So our total general fund would be what, 915?
Well, we didn't, I don't have a number right now in for the treasurer's role.
If you just plugged in the number and we didn't, just say status quo for that one.
Say 915 if it was approximately status quo.
And then we're discounting $250,000. It just is like,
It's a numbers thing.
But it's a huge incentive, because if you get 85% of your people to pay by the end of August, I mean, that's huge. Otherwise, they'll wait until the 1st of November.
what's the percentage on the discount?
No,
4%.
been 4%. I know or at least the last time that I checked in with other towns,
Becomes 20%
I think
of
we
your
were
general
one of
fund
3 towns
budget.
in the state
And
that
no
still.
town's doing it,
Yeah, we're
What,
one of the few
discounts?
towns.
offering
Yeah.
a discount.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But you say 3 towns,
Yeah.
it's about
But
I think
there's a lot
I
of
almost
towns
decrease
that,
it down 1%, like, and just
Go to 3%.
readdress next year.
but a lot of towns do quarterly payments too,
Correct.
which
Right.
helps bring the money in more without offering the discount.
And then we lose our interest.
Well, you lose your interest if you don't have it early enough. The town certainly has a reasonable surplus of unallocated funds to
The struggle I have is like,
make a change.
we're
But it's a bigger, I would suggest it's a bigger conversation because it's
of the discount.
the administration of that. If you have
Two big hits are the
four
30K
tax collection,
discount.
or, say you change something like that, it's, then you have 4 times as
Okay,
much
so
processing to do.
Suggesting the treasurer should be at 35,000?
Okay, which one was that?
I just put that in as a placeholder because Jeff asked me what our total was.
Without
Right.
anything that consistent.
And the
That
same
one, I
put the same, keep
I
the
highlighted
12
it.
Yeah,
until we,
yeah.
Don't
She
change
put
it.
in 35 and it was 3318 plus the 18, whatever. So
Yeah,
she
it's
didn't,
combined.
so it's combined.
it's there, it's just.
Yeah. Yeah,
The total combined is 35,165 currently, so I just put in 35 as a placeholder to see where we're at on current, for the general fund to raise revenues.
Because right now our general fund is up 85K.
Well, we haven't got, so we're not quite done. So the other piece that adds a significant amount to what we need to raise in taxes is our other articles. So the asset and equipment fund, just going through that list. So I don't know what we have for requests if,
Well, the, social services is still the 8,635. They still have time to bring in petitions if anyone wants to bring in to have it put on. But as of right now, we do not have no new ones. The Chit Chat is still the 2,000. The museum is still the 2,500. The library is still the 12,000. First responders, that went up to 12,500. The fire vehicle replacement fund went up to
85,000.
sorry, 85?
Correct.
Okay.
and then, the volunteer fire department, that went up to
92,100. And all between the first response vehicle replacement fund and the fire department in a whole, it only went out 17,600, and that's including 10,000 automatically just for the vehicle replacement fund. We are
Sorry,
talking, go ahead.
say that again. What is your total? And that's for the vehicle replacement fund, the fire department, and the first responders?
No.
Did you just,
No,
Can
the
you say that
vehicle,
again?
the vehicle fund is by itself at 85,000. But they set some money aside in their regular budget to help that out, correct? Am I understanding?
Correct. I'm pretty positive, yes.
but what is the total for the regular budget?
For Mount Holly Volunteer Fire Department, it's 92,100. That's what it would go up.
And then the.
Okay, and
then
that's
the-
separate from the 12,500 for the first response.
She said correct on that.
Okay, thank you.
I don't see anywhere in this list that we have, Okemo Valley TV.
Is it in the social services?
That's in the social services. Patrick,
Yeah,
we need your attention now.
oh no, you have my attention throughout.
Oh, okay.
Following this
Okay.
very closely.
So are you still gonna do the 750 or what is your thought on that?
Well, we submitted for an appropriation request
For the
for the
750?
750, which we've done for the
Yeah.
last several years, yeah, so.
Yeah.
I know there was a conversation about whether it would make more sense to have, rather than go into do it as an appropriation and potentially at some point submit for an increase.
Make it a line item.
And then do a petition to make it a line item just as for doing the meetings. But that we didn't determine anything. I think that was a question last year that came up. And I think you may have put it in your budget last year.
They did.
Okay.
We did, it was generally approved as an idea and put into the budget, but we would have to be invoiced for it in order to pay you for it, but that was, there was an additional $1,000 included. I'm up on professional services. I believe that was where it kind of falls under, because with the open meeting law and the requirements, we know we need the services. And the appropriation would require the additional, petition, as you mentioned, so that was included, is included in the current budget.
Okay, so that is included in our current budget. Legal and professional services, is that where you're putting it? Because we dropped that to 4,000.
Yeah, I mean, that is where it was included. We haven't spent anything in that category year to date, so we did drop it for next year, but I still, that's, where it's captured. the other big item is, for the town asset and equipment fund.
Do you happen to know what's left in that, Liz?
That should be correct.
Give me just a second, I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment. Let me pull up a different window.
Yeah, that we're good.
We haven't put the current year's, the amounts that were approved for the current year's budget have not been transferred
That's what
yet,
she's
so
proposing.
let me just pull up what the total is.
It's not the same,
So really, it's,
not the same what they have here.
yeah.
I just have to log into
This is right. This
the
is,
bank account,
this
so
is the
give me a
numbers
moment.
right on this.
It's, what she gave us for figures is not the same as what's written down there.
And if you add up 92, 100, 85,
Yep.
and 12.5, and that's 89, 600. Well, I took the 92, 100 from you. I think I heard 92, 500, but
92, 100, 85, and 12.5.
Correct, bringing a total of 189,600. So you have 85,000 for vehicle replacement. He had it separated on here from first response and fire. But together that would be 104,600.
1,000 plus 12.5 equals 189.6.
No, that's not correct.
Yeah.
which is a 17% increase.
Huge.
Ouch.
Our budget's gonna be huge.
Well, everything's gone up.
90% of that's your fuel, your lights, your telephone.
And you also gotta take consideration their, vehicle equipment fund. You know what you're paying for a brand new town truck if they had to get a brand new fire department.
Oh, I know that.
So,
I did want to bring up something under the other articles. Jeff, you were looking into some kind of a grant for the generator hookups to be put into the hall in the school. And I don't know if this is where it would go. You were looking into grants, the last thing I knew.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance kind of cleaning up some other grants, but I think
That'd be
that
in a regular meeting.
and that would conceivably be try to find something else like 100%.
We've got another meeting coming in at 6 o'clock here, so
Correct.
we may have to postpone and do another day.
So we
Definitely.
current,
We're almost there though.
Close.
so after buying the the new truck, the remainder is about 92,400 in the asset equipment fund.
More than I thought.
Oh, I thought
Say
it was
92.5, because there's interest will continue to accumulate.
So,
And that includes the current year amount. I'm adding that into that. We pretty much spent what we had on the new truck, so
That's what I
we're,
thought.
yeah. That was the plan. So we're funding, depending on the timeline. I mean, you just mentioned it's 3 years out to get a truck.
Yeah, and it'll be up
so you're looking at 400,000 or more
For a
if you
tandem.
get a tandem,
correct.
or another probably 270 for a single axle. So,
I think we still need at least one tandem. Personally. I don't know about your thoughts, Jeff. I know Bobby don't
be
want
honest with you,
one. I know you
no.
don't want one. I know that.
Because for the simple reason is, you're not gonna find somebody to drive that truck on icy roads anymore.
You can haul.
And what it cost us to have it hauled in.
You can get 80 weeks of hauling for 400 grand. Like if you subbed it out.
No.
But
I don't know, it doesn't sound like much.
What was the
Careful
cost,
fuel
Colby,
and
for
stuff.
a single?
Well, we don't have to.
Well, the single axle will probably
300,
be 300.
right?
Do we budget for like a 3 or 4 or 5% increase, go with 83 or 84?
Dennis, flip the light on. So no
I
one-
mean, just putting the numbers together, say you had a 3-year timeline, you would want a budget
Yeah.
at least equal to what we've been for the equipment fund, if not up to like 103,000 for the next 3 years, if you wanted to get the bigger truck.
I think it's okay.
Just do 85.
And that's without,
85.
without borrowing.
85 on equipment fund.
To put it in perspective,
Put it in perspective, to replace my 550 with a 600, with my setup that I got today is 135,000.
So we still have the
you could haul 70.
highway fund to go through.
Yeah, but we have folks for the next meeting rolling in.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering,
So-
rather than start that, if we should
Yeah,
plan
let's,
for another
let's
meeting.
stop it here and let's plan for our next meeting.
Do you wanna do it at 4 o'clock on this, 13th? Or is that,
Do 5.
or do 5 since the meeting starts at 6? Can we get that rest of that done in an hour?
We should be able to.
Does that work for you, Jeff?
Yeah. I think an hour's plenty to.
I would think
Yeah.
an hour would be plenty to hash out everything we got. So,
Will that work for you, Liz?
Yeah, that should be fine.
so January 13th at 5.
So we'll just meet earlier.
Yes.
Yep. And that'll give you time to figure out more on the treasurers and the assistant treasurer stuff.
What if we're doing day 9?
8, 9, 10,
So any questions, Liz?
No, I'm good. I'll send you guys, the spreadsheet that I was updating while we were, so you can compare it and just make sure we didn't mishear each other at all, but I think we'll
Perfect.
come back highway.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else have any questions?
I just knew that Dave Johnson had put in for, I think it was the property tax exemption for the Fellows Hall.
That you don't need to
It
bring
has to
up,
do with an
that
article.
goes on.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure, I know he was taking care
Yes,
of it. I
that's
just wanna make
already
sure it was done.
set to go on the budget then.
Okay.
Or not the budget,
No,
but on the,
an article on
The
the.
agenda.
yes,
I mean,
yeah,
It's on the agenda.
yes.
So, you know, we're gonna ban you from these
Well, I'm
meetings.
just telling you,
So, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.